Good morning. It's Tom Grody. It is 7:07. It is January 7th, the day after the insurrection. And it is time for 7 minutes of sunshine. Wow. I am exhausted. I'm sure you are. Yesterday will be in the history books. Amazing, awful day. Where we saw the chickens come home to roost, right? Chickens came home to roost, and all of the just awful leadership by President Drama Queen got somebody killed. Yesterday in the Capitol, in the U.S. Capitol building. Got somebody killed. He's responsible for that. So sunshine today is a little sunshine on just reality. And yesterday I posted the word early on as this was happening was enough of this bullshit. Enough. It's time. It's just time. It's time to rise up to our values, to come together and do the right thing. It is time. And so yesterday, early this morning, Congress officially certified President-elect Biden and Vice President-elect Harris. So it happened. Sure wasn't easy, was it? All that drama when all the president had to do was to concede, like every other president has done in the history of the republic, but couldn't do it. And I still see a lot of misinformation and bullshit going out and misleading folks and riling them up. And I think yesterday was a big enough. It's time to stop. Time to stop the crap. It's time to stand up and speak out about the truth always. So yesterday was a moment. It was a moment, and lots of moments yesterday. So finally, and Trump's Twitter account was suspended. President of the United States Twitter account was suspended because he was getting on there and lying. And even after the Capitol was occupied, even after it was occupied, he was on there claiming the same crap. So Twitter suspended the President of the United States account. Can you believe that? Is that pathetic? So a little truth today. And just some of the images that we saw. Already folks are waking up, and the Kansas City Star rebukes Josh Hawley's role in the insurrection, they're calling it, as he was walking by those protesters with his fist raised in the air. So here we go. People are waking up. Republicans meet their monster. You keep lying to folks, get them riled up and feel like things were stolen from them, and this is what you get. All right. It was amazing to see this. It was just shocking. A couple pages in our history books, folks, yesterday. This, Nancy Pelosi's office, guy's feet up on her desk, up on the desk. I'll tell you. And somebody at the speaker's desk makes it all the way into the Capitol as people are fleeing for their lives. Seriously. They're afraid. They all left. They had to be evacuated. And this guy, this asshole, this privileged man, white man, makes it all the way to the speaker's desk and does not get shot because he is white. And here we have Joy Reid says that if this was a Black Lives Matter protest, there already would be people shackled, arrested, and dead. And that, my friends, is the truth. And that is the hard truth, that in this country, a white mob can go into the Capitol and do what they did. And a black folks doing that would have been killed. It's just the truth. And it's powerful words yesterday. I heard all kinds of powerful things. So much stuff yesterday. So much truth, so much shining light and sunshine on the truth yesterday. And what I get is enough. We have to stand up and speak the truth. We can do it strongly, firmly. We can do it with love in our hearts, understanding that they are us, but we have got to speak the truth, because this is how countries are torn apart. And it's not going to happen in this country. And I saw a lot of folks stand up on the floor yesterday, change their minds about the bullshit, because they're smart people, and tell the truth yesterday. There were still some idiots, but here we are. We finally have certified Biden and Harris. We will have the very first female Black Vice President of the United States of America. And we have so many heroes stepping up, telling the truth, leading the way. Stacey Abrams. Folks, we just got to get out of the way and let some of our folks lead, and just it's time. It's time. It is time. So here I got a little video to show that just kind of speaks to what was going on yesterday, and give this a watch and come to the other side and close up. But thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And why don't you take a listen to this? I heard this. I couldn't believe I was hearing this yesterday.
It's sort of ironic to be on with you and with Rachel, and Rachel in particular, because I can go back to 2014 when I would be on Rachel's show as a correspondent at curfew time in Baltimore when I was covering the Freddie Gray uprisings. And these were mass marches that were in regard to police taking Freddie Gray's body and treating it like a rag doll and flinging him into the back of a police van and then riding around with him unshackled in that van until the rag doll broke and he died. And he died alone in the back of a car, being brutalized for no reason other than making eye contact with police as he rode his bike. And the uprisings that took place after Freddie Gray brought in a level of policing that I've never witnessed ever in life. It looked like a war zone. Police brought in tanks. They brought in body armor. They were wearing full body armor rubber suits where they almost looked robotic, full gear, enormous, powerful weaponry. And they were phalanxed out all across Baltimore, Penn and North. They were standing menacingly, waiting to brutalize anyone who even looked at them funny. The level of force, the level of just almost indiscriminate rudeness, cruelty, hardness of those police officers, and at curfew time, which would be 9 o'clock, and then almost every night during that uprising, at some point I would go on with you, Rachel, and describe to you what I was seeing, and it was terrifying. And what terrified me in those moments in Baltimore were not the marchers. I was never afraid among the marchers. The marchers just wanted justice. They just didn't think it was okay to just kill a guy because he looked at the police funny. I wasn't afraid of them. I was afraid of the cops because they were menacing. They knew those marchers were coming every night. They knew there was going to be a curfew every night. The great Elijah Cummings would walk people home and get them to go home because he didn't want them out after curfew. But there would always be some guys who would stay out after the curfew, who would refuse to go home, who would claim the right to be in their streets. And I was never afraid of them. I was afraid of the cops. The reason, as Claire talked about, that these people were so unafraid of the cops, who were sparsely distributed through our capital, which hasn't been breached since 1812, when it was burned. The reason they could easily and casually with their cameras on, film themselves throwing things through the walls of our Capitol, our property, going inside the Capitol, sitting in Speaker Pelosi's office, casually take pictures of themselves, have that played on Fox News. They know that they are not in jeopardy because the cops are taking selfies with them, walking them down the steps to make sure they're not hurt, taking care with their bodies, not like they treated Freddie Gray's body. White Americans aren't afraid of the cops. White Americans are never afraid of the cops, even when they're committing insurrection, even when they're engaged in attempting to occupy our Capitol to steal the votes of people who look like me. Because in their minds, they own this country, they own that Capitol, they own the cops work for them, and people like me have no damn right to try to elect a president. Because we don't get to pick the president. They get to pick the president. They own the president. They own the White House. They own this country. And so when you think you own it, you own the place, you ain't afraid of the police because the police are you, and the police reflect back to them. We're with you. You're good. We're not going to hurt you because you're not them. Guarantee you if that was a Black Lives Matter protest in D.C., there would already be people shackled, arrested, or dead. Shackled, arrested, en masse, or dead.
Wow. Yeah. I heard that on the radio. I heard that yesterday, and I was like, wow, in real time that we get to hear those powerful words from Joy Reid. Powerful, powerful, powerful words. It's not okay. It's not okay. This is gonna change. Stitching a new garment. Stitching a new garment. We can do this. We will do this. We see the truth. We're going to change it. All of us in this together, stitching a new garment. We're going to do it. I'm here. All of you listening, let's do this. Let's get together. Let's remember that they are us. Okay? They are us. And we've had some really, really poor, awful leadership that has shown us who we don't want to be. And I say that strongly and clearly. President Drama Queen is going away, and we've got a whole new day here. So let's do this. Thank you for joining me. I wanted all this in today because I want this video. I want this. I want to look back on this in a year, 5 years. I want to remember this moment, and I want to be part of that change. I hope you do too. Those are my values. Let's use that superpower. Let's make a difference. Let's build back better. And remember, even when it's really damn cloudy out, the sun is always shining. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you tomorrow.